Gamers, it's Knox, and this year I got to go to the Big O tournament in Eugene, Oregon. We got to watch some of the best teams, some of the best players in the entire world play 30 feet from our faces. It was glorious. So let's start with our current champs, Rose City. Rose City was a bit of a different team than we saw at the end of last season. Sarah Olsen moved to Victoria. Lauren Much was at the tournament but not skating in any of the games. There were two new faces on the Jammer lineup of Frisky Biscuits and Luna, and Scott Free, formerly the coach for Denver, was on the bench for Rose City. He and those denim fucking overalls. Rose City had big wins against Denver and Minnesota, but had a really weird game against Victoria and lost by like 12 points. It was weird because both Scald Eagle and Giles fouled out in the second half, which is really uncommon, especially for those skaters. So yeah, Victoria cleaned up. They went 4-0, even though they didn't have Christy Demons. She was at the tournament, sometimes wearing a pretty cool cape, but didn't skate. Actually, after the Big O weekend, Victoria bumped up over Gotham on flat track stats, so that's pretty cool. Texas also underwent some roster changes since we last saw them. Sarah Heupel moved to Detroit, Nikki Tiki Time Bomb was on the jam line, and Polygon and Fifi Namanon were both not at any of the games. Texas went 2-2 over the weekend, having big wins over Bay Area and won by about 50 points over Rat City. Angel City had a good weekend. They went 2-1 with big wins over Texas and Denver, but then lost to Victoria by like 100. On the MRDA side, things went as expected. Gatekeepers and Texas dominated, and unfortunately they didn't play each other, but they will at Brouhaha, so get excited for that. And as for juniors, I didn't get to watch very much of the juniors games when I was there. I really regret it. I caught the end of Angel City versus Foco, and that really impressed me. Their skill and their mental gameplay was sick. Seriously, if you get a chance to go watch their footage, do it. I'm gonna make it a priority. So let's talk about some trends that came out of the Big O. I saw more teams utilizing the Star Pass right after Leave Jammer was called on the other team. It was really successful, and I'm really hoping this becomes more of a thing. Jukebox actually mentioned in one of her live Q&A things on Facebook that London is getting their pivots to jam more, so maybe that's an indication of that becoming more of their strategy. Who knows? Who can know these things? Lastly, I want to talk about some players that really stood out to me during the tournament. First, Satan's Little Helper of Angel City. I don't know where I've been, if I've just not been paying attention, or if she really upped her game in the last season, but her and her back muscles are terrifying. Next, Dylan Bots of Puget Sound Outcasts. I saw Bots play at MRDA Champs last year and was blown away, probably because we're both like 5 foot. Shorties, you know. And there aren't very many super successful tiny blockers out there, at least that I'm aware of. So he's a really big inspiration to me. I have been watching all of his games, so fangirl, you know. And lastly, Brickyard of Minnesota Roller Girls, formerly of our Tribal Roller Derby. She's a phenomenal jammer, and just her legs just go on. Brickyard also has a really awesome derby blog called Check Your Toe Stops. I'm going to put a link in the description below. Check it out. She actually just put up a blog post on self-handicapping, that light bulb moment for me. So make sure to check it out. So the Big O was amazing. Thank you so much to Emerald City for putting it on. The production of the event was amazing. Having ESPN3 there was super cool. I got to meet a lot of my derby heroes, and the derby was awesome. If you have opinions or feelings or thoughts, whatever, on the games or anything that I talked about in this video, make sure to leave a comment in the section below or find me on Twitter. I would love to hear from you. And also, I am the guest picker for Chatterbox Pick'ems next week. Week after that? I don't know. I should look at a calendar. But make sure to check that out. Those guys are awesome, and I'm super honored to have been a guest picker.